Hello YouTube. So, time to get the monkey out and go for a ride. And one of my subscribers very kindly pointed out that this apparently doesn't control anything. And I've changed the rebound on it, slowed it down so it won't kick me in the arse like it's been doing. I'll go for a ride now and see if I've got it sorted. Okay, so what have I done? Well, since the last time I took the bike for a ride, I've had the chain replaced, new sprockets, changed the screen over as you'll see, and slowed the rear suspension down so it don't come back at me as fast as it's been doing, kicking me in the back. That's about it. So now it's time to go for a ride. Yeah, the lad who contacted me, thank you very much. Learnt a bit about the FNCNC shocks, and apparently I can't remember what it's called, but the knob that's on the top of the reservoirs doesn't appear to do anything, just there for show apparently, but why would he go to the trouble of putting it on? It has like two funny little holes. I think it's air. It controls the amount of air that comes out of the shock. I think that's possibly what's happening. I need to have a closer look at it. I'll take one of the knobs off and have a look, but it's like got a screw hole in the middle, but it's got like two little holes at either side. Now Harry B said that they're air oil, and it says on the shock that they won't stand up to off-road abuse. Clearly states it on the shock, but I only ever bought them. I bought them to carry my weight on gentle road rides, and I think for the 154 quid I paid for them, well, I think they're all right. And if they aren't, it isn't a big. I can do something else. But no, so far they've been okay. I don't use the monkey that much on the open road. It tends to be more of a town bike, but just to give me a change today, because I'm not going very far, it gives a chance to warm the little bike up and give it a proper run, which is never a bad thing. Come on, old lass. Aha. Didn't want to go. As you can see, I swapped the two screens over, and I prefer the back screen on the CL, and I like the look of this one on the monkey. When I'd done the swap, it was very obvious that it was the right thing to do. They just look better. There was an item on Facebook this morning about the number of motorcycle companies that were struggling, and the two mentioned were KTM, who look like may well be bought out by CF Moto, Chinese company, and Harley, who were in financial troubles. But this chap said the big problem, and he didn't just quote riding motorcycles and scooters, he also sort of quoted kids coming out and doing things like, playing golf, going skiing, sort of fringe type sports, not including football, that seem to do less and less. They're more interested in in being indoors. And he said, when you see the price of the average motorcycle for the money that they're asking, even for most modest of machines, you can get a fairly decent second-hand car, or certainly a down payment on something better, and the payments are more or less the same. And he said, you don't need a crash helmet, you don't need all the gear, you don't need to worry about the weather. Take my mate Rob, for instance. He's just bought a 2005 Mini one, and it's a soft top, and he said, me and my lad can go for a ride in this. If it rains, I can put the hood up. It's safer, it's cheap to run, it's cheap to tax and insure. He said, why would you possibly, the average person who isn't into the hobby, why would they possibly choose a motorbike over this? And he said, and then when you start looking at the prices, I mean, some of them are just getting silly. I mean, I'm seeing prices for motorbikes now that I was buying me VW Polos and Golf for not that long ago, new. 17 to 20,000 quid. And I have to say, although I have been out in some of this cold weather, it wasn't very enjoyable. I'll probably come back feeling the benefit of riding my bike, but it didn't make me want to go out again, if you see what I'm saying. And today I walked in the garage and I never gave the CL a second look. I just went and got this out. I just couldn't be bothered. So yeah, it's an interesting thing, and it could sound, well, it's pretty, worrying with regards to the hobby. I'm sure there's a few young men and women who take on motorbikes as a hobby, which is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about as a form of transport. Like in the early 80s, when I was going to work, I couldn't afford a car, so I bought a Honda 17. It served me well for quite a few years until it got nicked, and therein there was the problem. It got nicked. So after it got stolen, I bought another one. I bought a 125, but I only kept that about 18 months, and I just got fed up of getting wet and cold. I chopped it in and bought an old Mini, 10-year-old Mini. So I suppose I've done it, and I'm well into the hobby, own 2 motorbikes and so on. Onto Bracken Lane, and I'm going to this new cafe in Bainton, and I'm meeting Chris and Richard. They've been out all morning, but unfortunately I wasn't able to set off when they did. I had an appointment. We had weekly shopping to do, and then I had to go to the chemist and yada yada. So this week, that's the third time this week one of us has been. We've been Hull Royal once, we've been twice, yesterday afternoon in the I can't think what they call the clinic. Anyway, don't mind, it's in outpatients. And then me today, I had a clinical assessment, and they've taken me off some of the tablets I was on and asked me if I'd just return them. If I had any packets that were unopened, could I return them, which I've done. That's what I was doing after we'd been shopping. So yeah, busy morning. Anyway, it got to 12, quarter to 12, and I text Rich where I is, said, oh, we'll be in Bainton about midday. Fine, I'll come and find you. And I said, I just didn't fancy getting the big bike out, I just fancied pootling around on this one. So here I am. Just a note for myself, they're going to close this road for 7 days from the 24th of March. They did the other road that goes up to Watton Village 10 days ago. They must just be resurfacing them, which probably is chippings in all probability. Over the old railway bridge. And then I'll just leave this on for a minute, because we're not going the way we normally go. We're going to turn left just down here at this next junction. This takes us over to Bainton. Just saves them to run that horrible busy main. Whoa, that's a serious pothole. This goes down to, it's a hamlet, it's called Neswick. It's just a small collection of houses. It's the area is called Neswick. It's kind of him. Or Hare even. Yeah, I think slowing the suspension down has improved things. It's not quite so it was alright going over bumps, but it wasn't controlling the rear end sufficiently. I just did what my subscriber did, and he seems to work, so might just wind it back ever so slightly. But yeah, it's definitely better. There's no two ways about it. If it was on a bigger, more performance orientated motorbike, I wouldn't look at these shocks. The only reason I looked at them was because they were fancy and they suited this little bike, and they were definitely better than the OEMs. Definitely. That you just have to ride it a mile and you work that one out. And I think if you're planning to go off-road and hammer the living daylights out of them, I don't think they'll last 5 minutes. But if you're just planning to do what I'm doing, you know, use it like a glorified moped, yeah, it'll be alright, it'll be fine. Because whatever happens with the CL, I don't ever envisage parting with this bike. I like it too much. Even if I just keep it in the garage and polish it, it's a lovely thing. Down the infamous Dead lane. What a bloody name for a lane. Unless, of course, it has a hidden meaning. I don't know. You know, the daffy's in full cry. Room for a small one, probably.